Good evening, America. I am Eric Little. It is the 18th day of September 2020. It is National POW and MIA Awareness Day. Yes, I know Trump likes his people that weren't captured. There are 46 days until the end of the general election and 19 days until the vice presidential debate. I'm here near my home in sunny, for once, Southern California this evening, and this is the plain truth. Okay, so let's talk about the latest Trump horror. The director of the CDC testified under oath before Congress, before a congressional subcommittee, and he said that there's not going to be a vaccine widely available anytime soon, certainly not before the election, and before it be ready for mass distribution, it would be late second quarter, early third quarter of 2021. That perhaps by the end of the year, they'll have a few, enough available for frontline workers, people at old age homes, that kind of thing. He also testified that masks are important. He held up a mask and went and said, as far as, I'd even go as far as to say right now, this mask is better protection than a vaccine. We know that masks work, 95% effective. So an hour later, Trump goes on TV and contradicts everything he said. Said, no, he misunderstood. He doesn't know what he's talking about. No, we have hundreds of millions of doses ready to go. He just doesn't know. Now think about that for a second. He doesn't know. So there's only two choices here. Two things on the menu. Either Trump's lying to the American people again, or he's telling the truth, which means your own CDC director is out of the loop? What kind of operation are you running here? The director of the CDC has no idea what you're doing on vaccines? Look, this is reason number 958 not to vote for Trump, but okay. I want you to think this through. The CDC, from the inception of the organization until 2017, was the gold standard around the world. There was no political bias. It was just science, unvarnished facts. People came from all over the world to study CDC and their operations and how do you do it or whatever it is. And in one term, he's managed to completely destroy their reputation. The other day, they got caught. They wrote some CDC guidelines and put it on CDC letterhead. The CDC people didn't even know about it. So their reputation has been destroyed. What took 100 years to build, Trump has destroyed it. Not only destroyed that, destroyed the DOJ, destroyed the FBI, destroyed the HHS, all the institutions that we count on. So if you're the CDC, even when Trump's out of office, who do you see to get that reputation back? Where do you go? 50, 60, 70, 100 years to build this reputation as the gold standard of disease control and detection and prevention. And your reputation is trash now. Nobody believes anything you say. Nobody will take any vaccines. Who do you see about getting that back now? Look, everybody knows what Trump's doing. This isn't a secret. He's trying to get reelected. He was in Oklahoma. And he said, we have more cases because we do more testing. They should slow the testing down, please. And people thought he was joking. He was joking. Trump doesn't joke. He then started trying to slow the testing down to bring the numbers down. Well, we used to have 70,000 a day. We're down to 38,000 a day. We don't have less cases. We test less. But you notice the death numbers are exactly the same. We were losing 1,000 people a day when he went to Tulsa. We're still losing 1,000 people a day. You know why? Because the coronavirus doesn't care. You can test, you can not test, it's still going to kill the same number of people a day if you don't mitigate. It doesn't care what you look like. It doesn't care what your background is. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor. It doesn't care about any of that. It doesn't care if you're trying to get reelected. So now, we used to test 70,000 people a day. and we'd get 1,000 deaths a day. So now we test 38,000 people a day. We're still getting 1,000 deaths a day. Because the coronavirus is not going to not kill people because you don't know. All testing does is let you know who has it. If you have it or not, it's still going to kill you, but if you know who has it, you can isolate, you can track, you can trace, you can try to keep them from infecting other people. That's why our death rate isn't going down, because people aren't getting tested now, so they don't know. So then they go out and infect other people. Rather than you test, you know, you can isolate and they won't go infect other people. This is what politicization looks like. I'm not saying the CDC can never get back their reputation. The FDA can never get back their reputation, but they can't under this guy. So you want to just keep going blindly until hopefully there's a vaccine one day that everybody can have, and you're perfectly happy with 1,000 deaths a day, then this is your guy. For the rest of us, normal people, get out and vote. And that is the plain truth, as I see it. And I am Eric Little. Good night and have a great weekend.